What's good, everyone? Welcome to another reading. I'm going to use a big ass pen today. The reading's going to be about your path or what direction you're going in. It's definitely going to be an abstract one. I don't have like any specifics for this reading, but hopefully it will just provide you some guidance on kind of your path and where you're going. So as always, pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3. Feel free to pause the video and I'll get stuck into pile number 1s. Okay, pile number 1s. Hope you're doing well. So if there's any background noise, got the windows open today. Your path. Like I said in the introduction, a thick pen today. Okay, what do you see? What do you feel? Pile number 1s, what do you see? What do you feel? I was getting, so like before my pen touched the paper, I was getting kind of a shooting. This kind of propulsion. So this kind of reminds me of a head and someone like almost a little bit like you know when the man goes in the cannon. I'm not sure if it's the circus or what that is, like the daredevil. It's kind of, I'm not sure if I've got that right in terms of the word, but you know, the person who goes in the cannon and gets shot out. It doesn't have that humour to it though, you know, like this is a lot more elegant as a reading than kind of the comedic value that comes with the Cannonball Man or whatever it's called. This is almost, yeah, there's something spiritual with this. Not quite angelic, but, you know, something quite, is it ethereal was the word? And just as I said that, there was kind of a gust of wind as well, because that's given me like the elemental vibes of this reading. You know, there's something quite almost like silk, you know, I'm getting kind of almost silk in this reading. So what can we take away from this as a reading, pile number 1s? So there's this element here of you shooting forward with something. So that could be purpose. I'm getting purpose coming through, and possibly career. There's some form of opportunity coming to you, which is going to propel you forward. And then just to kind of give you those key words like to kind of catch the vibe, to kind of link where you might be propelling forward. There's definitely something to do with like aesthetics here. So possibly the way that you look, the way that you're viewed. It kind of reminds me also of like kind of like makeover energy. I'm kind of getting that vibe, you know, like almost like a makeover when someone hasn't seen you in a long time and then they see you and they're like, oh wow, you look great, you know. It's that kind of energy too. Like that person really like shot out of nowhere. It's that kind of energy. Shot out of nowhere would maybe be the key phrase for this reading. And it's almost giving me the vibes also of, you know, like when someone goes through a growth spurt like especially boys in puberty. Um, I know most of you probably aren't young enough to be watching this to relate to that, but it's almost that kind of vibe that you've shot up in height, it's that kind of energy. So, pile number one's short and sweet reading today, but feel free to sit on the energy before I move on to pile number two. Just have a nice pause on it and see if you see anything else. There's also kind of different shapes happening here, which reminds me a little bit of a bird, but sit on it, almost seeing like a lip as well, the lips. And that's almost like a beauty spot. So sit on the energy, see if you see anything else, feel anything else. But for reading, I think we got everything that we needed from that. So I'll move on to pile number twos now. Please do remember to like, comment, and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. Great way to support what I do over there. So I'll see you in the next one, pile number ones. Take care. Okay, pile number twos. We've got the big pen out today. Brace yourselves, just sitting on the energy. See if you feel anything or get any vibes before I actually start drawing anything. See if there's anything coming through for you. So there's like a coupling energy here I'm seeing. Pile number twos. Ironic because it's like two energy really. I'm seeing like a feminine and a masculine here. If anyone here looks at my Instagram, kind of might recognize this kind of posture or pose. Composition, but it's almost a bit more abstract here. I think so as I'm seeing this form, I have to pay attention to the energy, the feeling that I'm getting from both of these characters. This, I'm just going to call it masculine and feminine energy for the ease of it. This masculine energy here seems to be almost leaning over at this feminine character. And actually, first of all, I saw, so this is a head and this is a head. And I still see these both as the head, but what I do see here is actually the feminine actually saw the back of the head now. And this was almost like a hoodie. She had a hoodie on, like the Red Riding Hood. And then this is the head of the one guy, or masculine figure. So this masculine is kind of leaning over almost to get ready to hug this character. And it feels like this feminine energy is ready hugging the masculine. Now, possibly the most important part of this reading is I'm getting the energy here of halos. So this reminds me here of a halo over the masculine here, this little tiny one. And then this feminine has this huge ass one here. It's like I see a giant halo, that's what I see. And maybe halo is not the right word, but definitely some form of energy field. So, I don't know, interpret this how you want in pile number twos, but there's almost a dynamic here of the masculine looking after the feminine physically, and the feminine looking after the masculine spiritually. I guess we could simplify it that much. It's not really the word I was looking for, but I guess spiritually it's a little bit more, well, it's not a little bit more, it's a lot more complicated than that. because I'm almost getting vibes here of like energy nodes slash chakra fields. So like there's something really aura kind of based here with that energy. It's like to put it into another simpler term, if you imagine like force fields, you know, if you're watching a sci-fi movie and they put a force field over the spaceship or a bubble over themselves, it's kind of giving me that kind of energy. There's just this radiance coming from this feminine energy here, which I feel was, if not signaling something, it's protecting this couple. So yeah, part number 2 is, I feel like this is it's giving me energy of kind of meeting someone. I could be wrong there, and obviously people who are in a relationship might not relate to this so much, but I do feel like this has got kind of that romantic energy. Although it's not sexually intimate, it's intimate, you know. Doesn't give me friendship vibes. It gives me like, dare I say, like soulmatey vibes. It's giving me that energy. So one thing that you can take away from this part number 2 is, if you're feminine or masculine watching this, there's definitely something in terms of your path that you're walking into in terms of understanding kind of exchange, and this idea almost of fair exchange in relationships, kind of almost like what you're providing and what they're providing. It's got that kind of energy to it. And I think you're just growing wiser in understanding that. So I think that's your reading, pile number 2s. If you liked it, please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. Got some videos over there and some readings. Great way to support what I do. For now, I'll leave you to it, and I'll see you in the next reading, part 2s. Take care. Okay, part number 3s. So I've got the fat pen today. Okay. Maybe one of the more literal images today. What do you see? What do you feel? This reading can really be interpreted in a few different ways. I guess this is one of those readings where it would have been nice to do this live, to hear your interpretations, pile 3s, but let me kind of speak of a few of the things that I see. The first one being, this is a character. So in all of these explanations, this is always a character, a person here. And the difference is this like some form of projection that's coming out? That's kind of option 1. Like, is it just say an idea almost, you know, like the thinking bubble of a comic book? It's one thing that I saw. The second thing I saw was a portal. And the interesting thing about this is that the the portal is coming from this character because it's linking back. And I think it might be the first time I've ever drawn a kind of a portal actually connecting to the person. It would be the clue that I would get from that as an illustration is that that portal is a manifestation from that person. This isn't just a portal that randomly appeared over someone's head or, randomly, in quotations, randomly. This is definitely something that was manifested, intentional from the person. And then the third thing that I was picking up on, which was actually the first thing that kind of set the tone for the reading, was actually to do with like coin energy or money energy. I was kind of almost getting a coin here, and like this would be representing of almost like a coin or some form of like, let's say, like ancient Roman or even, was it Mesopotamian or, like some ancient civilization that I can't really think of the words or titles of those civilizations, but imagine that on like an old piece of gold, and it's just imprinted with this kind of symbol. I was kind of seeing that. So there's the idea here possibly of like, my pal threes out there, you might be manifesting money. Like if that resonates with you, this is definitely your pal. Have you been trying to manifest money? If so, this is kind of the universe giving you your nod to say keep doing what you're doing, or that thing you're doing is working. And again, the message is still kind of the same, which is this manifestation has come from you. It's connected. I think that's probably the most important thing about this reading, is it comes straight from this character. It's not by chance. So those are the three kind of points for your reading, pile number threes. I think there's enough information for you to kind of take away from that as you will. But yeah, I think that kind of sums up the reading, so I'll leave it there. It's been quite short ones today. But I think the message, is very clear. It's very clear. I'm not saying that these readings today haven't been abstract, which they always are in a way. But I think they've kind of given some bullet points there for you. So, pile threes, it's been a pleasure. Please do remember to like, comment and subscribe. Check out the If You Pause website, ifyoupause.com. And I'll see you in the next one. Take care.